Okay, goeiedag allemaal. Hello everybody. Welcome from the Netherlands. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about conflicts. Conflicts in the office and board, not between families or within families or within persons in special, but conflicts in the office and the board. But first of all, I have to apologize. Uh, this recording is not the good one because last week I had a recording on a conference, SF24, but it failed. That's why I did it once again. Okay, thank you. But the main topic is the SF way to solution focus to mediate in conflict. It's so important that we know this method. But before we start, I try, want you to think of someone you do not like. It can be anyone. It can be your neighbor, can be your father, your brother, your colleague, your boss. Name one you do not like. And how would a dialogue between you two look like? Keep it for yourself, but remember it. I think when you think of somebody you don't like and you think about the dialogue, it will be nasty, not good, not positive. How can we change that? Something about me. This is me. Sieds Rienks, psychologist. I was in a lot of boards. I'm a mediator, consultant. I did a lot in solution focus, and I live in the Netherlands. What I'm going to tell you is what is SF mediation and the roadmap in that mediation, how we put questions. And what do you want to know more? What is there more to know? The high temperature in conflicts, but sometimes the cold, the low in conflicts. Something about the masked conflict. It's about the work of Kahneman and Hyde. And I will give you some examples. But first of all, Steve de Chazer, a long time ago, he said there is no connection whatsoever between the problem and the solution. And that is so important. Many people are amazed when I say there's no connection between the problem and the solution. Oh, that can't be. You should analyze and about the youth or about the problems or the way of work or the method. No, we don't do that. We do it, I think, better. What is our best way of work in mediation? First of all, it's about listening. I take my time to listen very carefully. Sometimes more than 2.5 hours. Listen. From a not knowing attitude. Please tell me. I don't know. It's not my discipline. Tell them to tell. And find him, his, or her best possible future. Something vague, perhaps, but what could it be? Stay at the surface. In solution focus, we know that we should stay at the surface, not go too deep. Deep depth is not always your best way. Sometimes a little, but go back to the surface. And speed, yes, speed is my friend. uh, SF workers are very amazed when I say speed. Yes, in conflict, speed is my friend. I will tell you later about it. And at the end, dare to be firm. and to confront without accusation. In the SF world, people think a lot of times that you should not confront. I do confront, but without accusation. That's so important. And I'm going to tell you something about the shifting gears technique. It's a technique I learned in the Gordon movement, positive psychology movement. Go quicker and go slower, and differ between those, and dance the tango. We will see the tango again. But above all, appreciation and recognition are your entrance. Yes, it is. They are my entrance to solution and resolution. Never forget to appreciate the conflicting A and the conflicting B, and never ever stop to recognize each partner, each A and B, to be a good man, a good person. Maybe with faults, but a good man, a good thing. What's our roadmap? First of all, every conversation, everyone, I start with finding the resources. I'll show you in a minute. Find your resources from A and find your resources from B. We do that separately, not together, separately. And I start with a little goal seeking, a little tuning on a possible future. And then something more. Find the preferred future. And finding the first forerunners. Did we see something that were better? Or are things improving? And then at the end, conclusions and agreements. And each stage is important. But the tango is sometimes from 5, okay, we're going back to 2 or 3 and further on. It's not said that it's always one line, oh no. As I said, we always start separately. After that, duo talks. In the Netherlands, that's not, it's a little forbidden in mediation, when you do formal mediation. I do not go with the people together from the start. I want to learn everything from A and B. So listen intensely. Use appreciative inquiry. Solution focus manner of questions. Always be sure about the mandate you get. Get a yes. When people give me a yes, they mean, hey, you understand me. You understand me. And when I have that point, oh man, now I know I can go further. So I'm listening to get a yes. And never start duo talk when you don't have mandate from A or B. I just want that mandate. It's very intense. For instance, the second bullet, we start with a very intensive period of 2 to 4 weeks. Not 24 hours and that 4 weeks, but each day or something that we do to make them feel and experience together. Oh, it's so difficult for people. They say, oh, I'm busy and I have an agenda. No. If you want to go to a better place, then we want you to give us time to heal the problem and to stay up for the solution. And so we use speed, but trust is the main topic. So it's trust and speed together. First the individual together. Use appreciative coaching. Use business language. That's a big difference when you mediate. It's very important that you know the language of a firm or a business or that kind of thing. When they talk about money, you know, hey, it's important to know that money is an issue or a formal distinction or a boss and colleague or boss and partner. You know that. So that's important in that language. Guided naming of the pink elephant. There's always a pink elephant. And they stay out of it. Oh, never talk about pink elephant. I do it. I tell what a pink elephant is. But I do it in a guidance. Yeah. Could it be that the elephant is this? Oh, yeah. Okay. And the new connection should not conflict again in the future. Many times I see this. People are so willing to end the conflict that they cherish and hug each other. And, oh, we'll never do it again. Okay, it's a success. Wonderful. Do it. But please know that they have to have barriers not to come up again with new clever. Don't forget the legal and the business issues. And of course, we evaluate and we want to know the best hopes. Let me give you an example. One example. In the right corner, you see Marco Ronzani. 10 years ago, he taught me how to do SF mediation at SFiO in Belgium, Leuven. And we learned how to find, for instance, it's a book of more than 100 or 200 questions. But in this case, on this stage, we try to find resource. What do we like to do? What else? What are you good at? What else? What's your best quality? What else? So we go on asking questions like this. And always after half an hour, you feel the temperature is lowering. Hey, I'm accepted. I'm recognized. Okay. And then the 0.7 question. And at what circumstances do you feel yourself at your best? And people always know when they are at their best. And let them remember that. And of course, the question like, how did you manage to survive in these difficult circumstances? But when we are in the A and B stage, so it's duo questionnaire. And of course, Michael Ronzani is from Switzerland, Italy, Germany, Geneva. And he knows a lot about solution-focused mediation. And I learned really a lot of Michael. And here the duo questionnaire. What could be signs of progress when we end today? What else? The what else question, you know it. It's very important. Always ask, what else? Can you describe any of your feelings when this future would happen? What? Can you describe one of those improvements in your cooperation? You do. What would give the best trust that this improvement is coming? Who could support you in that? So these are examples of questioning. It's not a whole book, it's just 2 pages out of it. But this, you see how we build it. You feel how we build it. And then there always comes, somewhere in the process, there comes a red line. And help them to cross the red line. Seduce them. Support them. Hey, can I help you? Or, wow, it looks better over there. So we help them. And yes, we support them to cross the red line. What should you know more? For instance, the formal and the organizational issues. When you're in a board, they are in a board. I want to know how the formal issues are. Are they shareholders? How much money is involved? That kind of thing. You have to know something. It's not that you know everything, but just some cues of it. Be aware of the stage of the conflict. We will show you that in a minute. Be aware of the conflict style. I'll show you that 2 minutes later. Be sensitive to the temperature, lower or high. The conflict can be in the cold and in the heat. And when you're in the heat, you have to lower it. But when you're in the cold, when people just are backwards to each other, well, try humor. Try a laugh or a good experience or something like that to a little improving of the temperature. And never, ever forget Kahneman. Kahneman, Nobel Award winning psychologist and economist, he always is keen on knowing, do we see the real conflict? If people say, I don't like the way he does, well, what's the real conflict? Is there more to know? So Kahneman has always a role in how we do things. This is the triangle I told you about: legal and formal, business, organization, psychological. And then we come to the tango I told you. Sometimes people want problem talk. Let them go. Let it. But not 1 hour or something. Yeah, just 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Don't listen to it. It just helps them to feel themselves at ease. Yeah, but it's not here about the content. It's a little space. I offer real open space and appreciation. I'm very much grateful to Hedda Platt with her talks about open space, giving comfort to one, to set up a dialogue of emotions and empathy. I do it. I do it in mediation. I do it in the board. Yeah, I offer open space. I try to give them an indication of hope. Oh, how nice would it be that you were together when you were friends or colleagues or something like that. I mentioned the steps in between. They are small steps, but firm. We want to know what the next step is. It's more tango, and up and down, than straight. I have to be authentic as a coach. And yes, I dare to confront or to provocate. Some theory. First, the theory of Glasel, how a fly becomes an elephant. It starts with a difference of opinions at the low, and at the end, together we go into the deep. There's war. So, problem, fight, war stages. I'm often asked in the war stage. That's difficult. You have to know that's difficult. But it works. SF works even in war stages. In the way I told you, but you have to know where are we? Because if we're at some stage, I don't want to know what's next and what was before. And then I go back to some of those stages. Please know it. And know what his or her normal conflict style is. It's the theory of Kilman, you all will know it. Some people are the winner types, some people are the loser types, and we differ in win-lose, win-win, lose-lose, and lose-win. And it's so important that you know what their style is. Oh yes, it's wonderful to know that. And when they see their own way of conflicting, of going on with differences, oh, it helps a lot. I told you about Kahneman, the real conflict or the masked conflict. Um, what we see often in business routines, they A has sent an email to B, and and how could you do so? And he gossip, talk to other people, and more and more and more. But the real conflict is maybe about hierarchy or jealousy or something at home. Or I want to know a little bit of it. I don't want to solve all that, but I want to establish a way of work where the mass conflict is known to each other. Hey, how did it happen? Please help me. In this line, it's very common. I did this many times. The new and the old director conflict seriously. They have differences. The new one on vision, investments, people, future, structure. And the stakeholders, they hear, oh, A and B cannot cooperate. What shall we do? And I start with individual sessions. Some start with all parties, but not about the content. We have together sessions, more insight in character, background from each other. And we give them an induction of hope. And we establish a lower temperature. And then the miracle happens. Acceptance of mutual competency. They see that the old director may be old-fashioned, but he has a competency. You know where it came from. And the new one has a competency as well. Maybe the new one is about marketing, and the old one is about bookkeeping. And the bookkeeper always says, oh, we first have to earn it before we go further. And the marketeer says, yes, we'll put money in it and then profit will come. So it's a step-by-step method. And we build up task differentiation, legal fences, and a clear pattern. I can't tell about all. I told you we are from Masters in Conflict. I do this with Leo Blokland, a former lawyer. He is aged as I am, around 70. I'm around 75. And we do a lot of mediation. Separately, sometimes, together. When we have big boards, then it's so much better to do it together, because Leo is mostly the old owl, and I'm the seducer who helps people to feel themselves comfortable, and then the more action in my thing and more reflection in Leo. So it's very important that we sometimes do it together, not always. We do conflicts in the board, in the management team, between the board and the management team. And we did in the last years some issues regarding transgressive behavior. That's a difficult one. It's a little bit different, but okay, we did it, and we did it successfully for instance, in the broadcasting atmosphere, in the government as well. Our operating fields are business, healthcare, politics, government, and much, much more. Our result? We never had an NPS score lower than 8 after the mediation. Maybe, mostly, coaching is asked. We do that for 2 times or 3 times, but not too long. We are very efficient. In 3 out of 4 mediation, cooperation will be re-established, and 25% is either fuzzy or ending with an exit, because exit can be the best result. But even when there is exit, it's so important that we can still look at each other. Yeah, it's so important. And well, at the end, our costs. Well, we earn good money, no problem with that. But the costs, let me say that my mediation has cost 20,000 euro or something like that. That's small in relation to a big conflict where there comes a buyout, lawyers are introduced. Oh, it's so much better.